Okay, y'all, here we go. So, I do customer service. Like, I multitask, right? I I cross train. I do. It's a lot of moving parts, right? So, oh my goodness, it's busy out today. So, anyways, um, let's talk about work. It's like you could like what you do or be good at what you do or you know like your coworkers, but it's always that one. It's like sometimes this economy with how stuff is, you just want to go to work and do your job. You don't want the extra pettiness and drama that comes with it, right? Um, you know, I remember years ago, rent used to be so cheap. It used to be so cheap, y'all. Like, I remember living in the suburbs, and my rent was, my first apartment was $436 for a one bedroom, one bath. Let me roll up this window for y'all. I'm so sorry. I got on this coat because it's December, almost January of 2025, and the weather, woman, is hot, then it's cold, then it's raining, etc. So, sorry about that. So, I got on this coat. It's okay. No harm, no foul. But, so yeah, let's talk about these bills. So, rent has tripled. Like, years ago when they used to build apartments, I would say if you want a nice size place, um an apartment that was built in the 80s or the 90s, the square footage is going to be bigger. You might feel like you're getting more bang for your buck because a lot of these newer places are like choppy and cookie cutter, and the rent is so expensive. You know what I mean? And most of the time, you're not even enjoying where you live because you're constantly at work. So let's get to it. Um, Back in the day, you could have like one income and have money left over. Now it's like you need two incomes just to be broke and a third income just to have money left over. You know what? I even had to cut some friends off. Oh, yes, I did. Like, sometimes you cannot tell when people are takers because they can disguise it, especially if you're a nurturer and you're a giver. Um, your love language might be acts of service. So, you're not keeping score, but you are acknowledging what is going on. You know what I mean? And so the economy is so crazy to the point where in a year's time, you might have did 10 favors. Some volunteer, some acts, but it's probably acts for real, right? And then every blue moon, you might need one or two favors a year. And they do it so you think it's reciprocation, but it's really not. It's lopsided. And that's how expensive stuff is that the economy will reveal to you who people are to you and for you, and who's carrying their weight and who isn't. And I'll tell you something, some of these people be feeling so entitled, right? Like, stuff is so expensive that, you know how you get online or you know YouTube and all these other platforms, and people always talk about how men need peace. Women need peace too. Yes, us right here in the flesh, right? Because I deal with numbers a lot, right? Like I'm multitasking. I do customer service. I'm putting out fires. Like I'm multitasking. I'm cross training. There is a lot of moving parts, and it's a team effort. So it's not that some of these jobs, because it's gratitude, right? It's not necessarily that the job doesn't pay you enough, but it might be that the cost of living is just too high, right? And so let me tell you how I did it. Let me tell you how I survived, right? I had to get to a place where I am responsible enough to pay a bill and acknowledge that it's due. But I'm not going to let it stress me out under any circumstances. Like, I'm not about to sit up here and go crazy or allow it to let me go crazy, right? And I also had to cut ties with people. Like, the cost of living is so high. I let one of my first cousins go. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Like, they were constantly asking for money and never paying back and never having the intentions to pay back. And they are older than me. They're like 4 years older than me. But people will like count your pockets, right? And I was like, no, I gotta cut ties. Not only can we talk about how, like, when you fill out your work application, right? You are there to do your job, learn, do it to the best of your ability, right? Be a team player and go home. But can we talk about, it's always that one person at the workplace who does not have a life outside of work and bring their toxic behavior to the workplace and pushes their seniority around. Let me tell you, people will try to like study you, and sometimes you think that they are being nice to you because they are being nice to you, but they could be trying to get close to you to try to find out your weakness or to test you or to see how much they can get away with, right? So this person is so, let me just tell you what they did. You tell me what you think. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'm a single mother. At the time, I wasn't an empty nester. I'm an empty nester now, but that's a different video. And kids are extremely expensive, right? God bless them, extremely expensive. So this coworker creates situations. Let me give you an example. Nothing was wrong with their car, but I'm new. I don't know they're toxic yet. Hadn't been revealed to me. So they, act like they're having issues with their car. So me and other coworkers are nice enough, we're kind of taking turns. Some people are giving them rides to work. I'm giving them a ride home from work, right? Everybody's doing their part, pulling their weight, right? And so now, that lasted a couple of days, maybe a week. And then turns out they put their car in the shop. Nothing's wrong with it. Again, I don't know they're toxic yet. Because when you fill out the application, you're just there to do your job, learn, be a team player, and go home. That's as far as you thought it through. That's as far as you thought it through. So, okay. Then they start giving me like little personal gifts of theirs. Nothing that's store-bought. Not doing it to anybody else. But I didn't know that they were singling me out, because I'm like, well, I am new, so I'm thinking they're trying to be nice. I don't know that they're trying to groom me, is what I'm really trying to say, because I don't know that they're toxic yet. Has not been revealed to me yet, right? So, with that being said, sorry about that. Okay, so with that being said, or whatever, you know, this person eventually invites me to their house. Now, I do more jobs than this person in regards to the customer service side. So we don't see each other 100%, you know, like our desks are not located in the same area, but our paths cross. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I've already saw you Monday through Friday, and now you want me to hang out on a Saturday. It just kind of seemed like a lot, because when I would drop them off at home, I would just drop them off on the front door. I didn't charge them any gas money, and I was just being nice, you know, because I'm thinking, I want somebody to be nice to me. I'm just being nice to them. That's as far as I thought it, right? So here's the part that gets creepy. We were already doing like team stuff where sometimes as a group, it's several people going to an outing. That makes sense. It's several people. It's no one-on-one. You're being a team player. Everything's fine. So, you know, kids are expensive in this economy. I mean, as an adult, you can window shop, right? But kids need, you know, adults you want, kids need. So I wasn't an empty nester yet. And even though I am 5'4", my son is 6'2", and he's constantly growing. So, and he is feeling himself. You know, he's 17, he's a teenager. We're not seeing eye to eye, right? It's like, I tell him to do something. He's just doing him, right? So my response was, hey, I have a lot going on with my son, which I do, right? That part was true. But also, I knew she couldn't cook. Like, let's just keep it a buck. I love food. All of my close friends, and I have several, they can cook. Their mothers could cook. That's how we became best friends. Because sometimes, you know, you're getting to know them, but you're also saying, hey, did mom cook? Is dinner ready? You know, like I would get, because my mom can't cook, right? And I would get them there, you know, my mom to drop me off at their house, you know, and I'd be like, is dinner ready? Like, is she cooked yet? You know, fun times, right? So I knew she couldn't cook. I was like, well, I know she don't know how to, you know, fry no chicken, or no fried pork chops, or, you know, no smothered gravy. Like, I knew what it was, right? And so I didn't know she was crazy yet. I didn't know she was toxic, right? When I filled out the application, I just, hey, let's, take care of my kid. Let's pay these bills, right? And be a team player. When I'm on the clock, I'm on the clock. When I'm off the clock, I'm off the clock, right? So so she invited me to her house that Friday. The whole weekend goes by. Saturday, Sunday, I go in the break room, I'm making coffee. I'm thinking it's going to be a normal situation where you say hello, good morning, and she confronts me and told me, if you didn't want to come to my house and hang out, which we're like 15 years apart. So that in itself was a red flag, because it was like, well, you can't cook, allegedly, right? Or to my liking, because if I gotta eat it, I have to like it. And we're 15 years apart, so it wasn't like she was having a party or an event or get together. It wasn't like she was trying to teach me something or show me something or educate me on something. And she didn't invite me out to an outing like a sip and paint or, a fun activity, right? She invited me to her home. And to go into someone's house, in my opinion, is personal. Now it's not business, it's personal. And I filled out the application with business in mind. Now, if you meet and greet along the way, that's nice, right? That's a beautiful thing. And I have friends that I've worked with in the past, and we're still friends, and I'm grateful for those people. But when I filled out the application, it was not to make friends. It was to pay bills in that order, right? I'm not going to let them stress me out, but I acknowledge that they are there, right? So she confronts me. She says, well, you didn't have to hide behind your son. If you didn't want to come to my house, you could have just said no. Red flag. You mean to tell me that we had this conversation Friday after 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you had this on your mind all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and confronted me first thing in the morning around 9 a.m. when I'm trying to make coffee, and I'm here with you, but not really. So I said that to say, sometimes because the cost of living is extremely high, right? It's not always that you don't have a good job or you don't have a good situation or you don't make enough money. It might be the people. You know what I'm saying? Because being a new person, you might be like, I ain't signed up for all this, because I didn't, right? And unfortunately, she's been allowed to just do so much toxic stuff. It's like a cancer in the workplace. You know what I mean? And it can become overwhelming and frustrating. Let me tell you how crazy she is. Why am I wearing this cross? Like, seriously, I got I Love Jesus at my desk. I got a Jesus Love Me mouse pad. I got a Jesus bracelet. It's a true story. I have a Jesus bracelet. I have like all of this stuff just to keep the evil out, because it is a monitoring spirit. I feel like that's what this is. On the spirit, on the flesh, your flesh, you could say, oh, this person is lonely. Oh, they want friends. But even with friendship, it takes two. So I don't need to be friends with someone that I don't need to be friends with, only for them to tell me how bad of a friend I am and try to like create a situation that doesn't even need to be. Like, we're not equally yoked. We don't have anything in common. We don't like the same stuff. You get what I'm saying? So you just keep it business. But what happens when people won't accept that, and now it becomes a toxic workplace where they're like falling in the bathroom and stuff like that? But that's a different video for a different day. But yeah, so the economy is doing its thing, and the cost of living is extremely high, and we are all just doing our best until we can do better. So I pray that this message blesses you. Hi, by the way, my name is Nicole. Welcome to my channel. Be encouraged and not discouraged, right? And Jesus loves you. God bless you. And you got this. Bye.